If we could miraculously travel back in time and be standing here in City Hall Park during the mid-18th century, we would witness some monumental historical events that would shape the future of our country. We'd see an angry mob protesting the Stamp Act in 1765, which led to the rallying cry, "No taxation without representation." We'd see the first liberty poles rise and fall, only to rise and fall and rise again. We'd see a young Alexander Hamilton giving fiery speeches about the tyranny of England. And we'd see the gallows take the lives of over 250 people for defying British rule and supporting independence. But one of the most monumental events would have unfolded right here on July 9th of 1776. George Washington, the Continental Army, and hundreds of pro-independence supporters would gather here to hear the Declaration of Independence being read for the very first time in New York City. New Yorkers were whipped up into such a fervor after hearing this that they would march down Broadway to Bowling Green Park, the oldest park in New York City. They'd cut off all the royal crowns that lined the fence around the park. And then they'd feast their eyes upon the statue of King George III that sat right in the center of the park. They'd tear down that statue, they'd beat it, stomp on it, cut off its head, and melt it down and make 42,088 bullets to fight in the Revolutionary War. They say that we returned the statue to the king in the form of musket balls, and it left a deep impression on his soldiers. The British would take New York during the Revolution, and the war would rage for 8 years and take the lives of thousands. But on November 25th of 1783, the British would evacuate the city, and George Washington and the Continental Army would triumphantly march back past City Hall Park, down here to the Battery, raise the American flag, and officially take back New York City.